Alright, hi everybody. My name is Arusha Braithwaite. Welcome to my channel first and foremost. This video is basically going to be about finding an easy way to memorize all 20 amino acids. So I know this video is going to be very helpful for students, especially pre-med students who are studying for a biochem class or studying for an MCAT. Hopefully this video will help you guys. My first YouTube video of any kind. So I really want this to be like very helpful for anybody trying to memorize all 20 amino acids. A little bit about myself. I'm a supplemental instructor. I tutor genetics. I love to make study guides in general. I find that it helps me retain information better before an exam or before like any assignment. So helping anybody is my thing. It's my niche. I'm all about helping others. So hopefully this video is going to help you, and let's get started. All right. Okay, so what is an amino acid? I'm pretty sure you guys already know. If you don't know, here we go. So an amino acid in this picture, it has basically four main parts. You have the carbon atom in the center, and then you have a hydrogen atom attached. You also have a carboxyl group. So basically this is a carbon atom double bonded to an oxygen atom and single bonded to a hydroxyl group. So that's the carboxyl group on the right side. On the left side you see an amino group, which always has a nitrogen attached, and the last group is the R group, or the side chain. So each amino acid, since there's 20, is going to be very unique to itself. So the R group is going to vary between the different amino acids, and they each have specific properties. I'm going to go over what each group entails in the next slide, but basically this is like the general structure of an amino acid, and an amino acid is the building block of a protein. So these make proteins, they help in making proteins, and this results in basically making cell components that help the structure of the cell, and also the function of the cell. So these are very important in biochemistry and bio. And so properties of side chains. So like I mentioned before, the 20 amino acids, they all have different side chains. So the first group of side chains are nonpolar side chains. This basically means that they are hydrophobic. And hydrophobic, I'm sure you know that it means that it fears water or doesn't like water at all. So the nonpolar or hydrophobic side chains or amino acids would be glycine, alanine, valine, proline, leucine, isoleucine, methionine, tryptophan, and phenylalanine. It's a lot of amino acids, about like 9 of them. So if you look at their side chains, for example, glycine, it has the amino group, it has the carboxyl group, it has the hydrogen atom, and it also has another hydrogen atom. So 2 hydrogen atoms makes it very hydrophobic. Also, if you look at phenylalanine, the last amino acid on the nonpolar section, it has a benzene or phenyl ring. And this benzene ring is basically composed of a lot of carbons and hydrogens. So of course it would make this very hydrophobic. So those are all examples of nonpolar or hydrophobic amino acids. Next up, we have the polar side chains, which consist of glutamine, asparagine, serine, cysteine, threonine, and tyrosine. So these polar side chains are not charged. They're not charged. They're polar, and sorry about that. They're mostly found in the surface of proteins. So these are the polar side chains. The next group are the acidic side chains. So the acidic side chains, is only 2 of them, aspartic acid and glutamic acid. And the way to spot them is that they have carboxylic acid side chains. So because of these carboxylic acid side chains, it makes them strong hydrogen donors. They can donate a lot of hydrogens, so that makes them very acidic. On the other hand, the last group, basic side chains, is kind of the opposite. So you have lysine, arginine, histidine, and they have a lot of nitrogen atoms. So you know that nitrogen is very good at accepting protons, so that makes it very basic. So these are different types of groups of side chains, and know them. know what group they belong to, and you will be fine. Alright, so this is where my little corny amino acid rhyme comes in. This is like a basic diagram of what the rhyme is gonna have, but I don't want to confuse you guys, so let's go. So on the left side, we have a stick figure. We're gonna name this guy VG, right? And his name is VG for a reason. The arrow points to the MIT logo. As you know, MIT is like basically the Harvard of like engineers, from what I've heard. So you know that VG goes to MIT. Cool, smart guy. Then the next arrow points to a sports car. So the sports car, I named it CTT 3000. There's a reason why I named it CTT, so look out for that. And the last arrow points to a bag of Lay's chips, very yummy, and some Hyde's candy. So Hyde's candy is very convenient because the name Hyde's, I didn't even know that like Hyde's candy existed, but apparently it's a company that makes candy. But it helps with the rhyme scheme. So just know the word Hyde's. Just know that you have a guy named VG. He went to MIT. He has a CTT sports car. And he somehow ended up with a bag of Lay's chips and some Hyde's candy. Alright. So the first part of my rhyme is about nonpolar amino acids. And this is how it goes. In the lab, you'll find VG. He went to MIT for his PhD. So you're going to notice that there are certain letters that are underlined and bolded. So for the nonpolar amino acids, I put the color, the underlying colors in like a grayish color. So the L in lab stands for leucine. The A in lab stands for alanine. In VG, which is the guy's name, the stick figure's name, V stands for valine. G stands for glycine. And then when you go to MIT, the M stands for methionine, I isoleucine, the T tryptophan, and for the PhD, the P in PhD, it stands for the two P's, the two nonpolar P's, so proline and phenylalanine. So this is how I want you guys to remember all the nonpolar amino acids. Basically, this guy named VG, you'll find him in the lab. He went to MIT for his PhD, right? So just remember the LA in lab stands for leucine alanine. The VG, valine glycine. M, methionine. I, isoleucine. T, tryptophan. And for the PhD, the P stands for two amino acid P's, so phenylalanine and proline. Another way to memorize the T, so you don't slip up and be like, oh, you know, it's tyrosine or threonine, is that if he's going to MIT, you know, he's going to a place, taking a trip, right? So tryptophan, that's how you can remember the T amino acid. So MIT, the T in MIT stands for tryptophan. So this is basically the rhyme for the nonpolar amino acids. Again, these are basically what each of the letters stand for the nonpolar amino acids. So just know these and you guys will be down and about for this nonpolar amino acid. Alright, so let's move on to the polar amino acids. So the polar amino acids, the rhyme that I made for this is very simple because there's only 6 polar amino acids. So the rhyme goes like this. He bought some gas for his CTT. So remember that CTT, like I said before, I made it into a sports car. The same green sports car that you saw before. But you know that the polar amino acids are glutamine, asparagine, serine, cysteine, threonine, and tyrosine, right? So these polar amino acids, I just basically made it into this short rhyme. So you know that VG, the guy, he's in the lab. You'll find VG in the lab. He went to MIT for his PhD. He bought some gas for his CTT, so he's buying some gas for his car, right? So you know that polar amino acids, the underlined letters stand for the polar amino acids. So these polar amino acids, again, G stands for glutamine, A stands for asparagine, S stands for serine, C stands for cysteine, T, threonine, and the other T, tyrosine. The next part of my rhyme deal with the acidic amino acids. So the acidic amino acids, you know, there's only two. There's aspartic acid and there is glutamic acid. So the next part of the rhyme, you know that in the lab you'll find VG. He went to MIT for his PhD. He bought some gas for his CTT, and now he asked a guy. You don't know what he asked the guy for, but he asked a guy. Very simple. So the A stands for aspartic acid and the G stands for glutamic acid. Very simple. So again, the A, aspartic acid, and the G, glutamic acid. Last part of the rhyme is dealing with the basic amino acids. So again, only two basic amino acids, very simple, lysine and histidine, right? So far the rhyme goes, in the lab you'll find VG. He went to MIT for his PhD. He bought some gas for his CTT, and he asked the guys now for some Lay's and hides. So now you know what he asked the guy for. He asked the guys for the bag of chips, Lay's, and some candy, some Hides candy. So we know that the basic amino acids, the L stands for lysine and the H stands for histidine. Again, L stands for the lysine amino acid and H stands for the histidine amino acid, the two basic amino acids. Alright, so now we have the final rhyme for the amino acids. So let's say it together. In the lab, you'll find VG. He went to MIT for his PhD. He bought some gas for his CTT. He asked a guy for some Lay's and hides. So this is the final and complete rhyme that I made to help you memorize all 20 amino acids. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. I hope that you like and subscribe. Again, it's my first YouTube video, so I hope to make more videos just like this. If you have any recommendations, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.